Have you ever looked at two regulators sitting next to each other and thought, they both have two gauges, they both have an adjusting knob, what the hell is the difference? Well, one could be a single stage regulator like this one right here, or it could be a two-stage like this one right here. See? And no, two-stage doesn't mean you get actually twice the gas. So let's break this down without turning it into an engineering class. First, regardless of which one you are using, regulator has just one basic job. Take the high pressure from the cylinder and make it work for you. Just reduce it to the lower usable pressure that you might need for whatever attachment you have at the other end. Because connecting a torch directly to a cylinder pressure would probably make this a whole new video, right? We probably wouldn't even have this video. So let's start with the single stage regulator. The name pretty much says it all. It reduces pressure in one stage. High cylinder pressure enters the regulator, and the one stage regulator reduces it directly into the delivery pressure that you have selected, the PSIs that you really need. Simple, reliable, and extremely common in the welding industry and HVAC industry as well. You'll see a single stage regulator. It's all over the welding industry. Repair shops, fabrication shops, HVAC, refrigeration work, maintenance departments, construction sites, and also plenty of everyday oxy-fuel cutting, welding, brazing, and heating applications. It's just that's the workhorse of the industry when it comes to the simple stuff and the daily stuff. For a lot of what we do every single day, a single stage regulator does the job perfectly. That's the one. But here's the thing that really gets interesting. The pressure inside that cylinder doesn't stay the same. As you use the gas, the cylinder pressure changes. And with a single stage regulator, changes in the inlet pressure, it really can cause a change in the delivery pressure. So as the cylinder really empties, you may occasionally need to come back and make an adjustment. It's basically your regulator saying, hey boss, we're getting a little low here, so watch it. Not a big deal if you are standing right next to your working station, sitting next to the equipment every single time. But then we have the two-stage regulator. This one really takes a different approach. And just like the name says, two-stage, just like this one right here, essentially it's just two pressure reducing stages built into one regulator body. So you can see how massive it is compared to the other one. So instead of taking the cylinder pressure straight to your working torch, it just does it in two levels. It goes to the first pocket, stays there, let's call that the middle pressure, and then it goes out to your working pressure. The first stage takes that high cylinder pressure into what I just said, reduces it to a lower intermediate pressure. That first stage is normally preset internally. You're not standing there adjusting two different knobs. When the gas enters the second stage, this is the stage you're controlling with the pressure knob. Very easy. Cylinder, first cavity, intermediate, last cavity, your working pressure. Single stage is one big pressure reduction. Two stage says, hey, let's slow down once and then let's slow down once more again. And there's a reason for doing that. The second stage isn't dealing directly with those large changes in the cylinder pressure. It's being supplied from the first stage at a more controlled intermediate pressure. That helps produce a more consistent final delivery pressure as the cylinder gets empty. And that is the biggest advantage of having a two-stage regulator. Less readjustment, more consistent delivery, more consistent pressure. Set your pressure, get to work, and spend less time babysitting the regulator. So where does a two-stage regulator really make sense? Long-duration cutting and heating applications, machine and automated cutting, production environments where equipment might be operated for long periods of time, applications where maintaining consistent delivery pressure is more critical, and situations where your cylinder is remote and difficult to constantly monitor. You see, I'm 50 feet away, I'm 100 feet away, and that's where a two-stage also comes in handy. Because if your cylinder is 50 feet away and you don't necessarily want someone walking back and forth all day saying, yep, we got to adjust it again, we got to tweak it again, time is money. Now, here's another difference you can actually see. Put a single stage and two stage next to each other. The two stage will generally have a larger, deeper regulator body here like you see, especially towards the back, or as I like to call it, baby got back. It's two sets of regulators in one. It's two diaphragms, two of everything that makes that one regulator. So it needs more space. It needs two rooms. It's like an apartment with two rooms. So that bigger body isn't someone just getting creative with brass. The right question is, what does your application requires? If you are doing everyday cutting, bracing, heating, HVAC, repair on the field, The one-stage regulator, it's going to be your baby. That's the one you're going to use left and right. That's the one that actually handles 80% of the business out there. A good single-stage regulator may be exactly what you need. Simple, compact, dependable, and less money. But if maintaining consistent delivery pressure is important to you and the process that you are running, then definitely you need a two-stage regulator. There's no doubt about that. But knowing the difference is going to save you money, is going to save you headaches. And single stage doesn't mean cheap. And two stage doesn't mean that it's actually better. There's simply just two different ways of controlling gas pressures for different applications. That's all it is. And once you understand this, what's happening inside, the bigger bot finally makes sense. Hey, just saying. And remember, every spark has a story. Until next time, Frank with Torch Tales, I hope we just learned something together.